All right, here with Caitlin Zarr, SCAC Women's Tennis Player of the Week. Caitlin's a senior from LaGrange. And Caitlin, take us through that match with UT Dallas. It was a big match, a regionally ranked opponent, and a chance for you guys to pick up a big regional win. What did Coach Hunt tell you guys coming into that match?
Really, he always tells us to have an open mind, going into every match, especially home matches. He always kind of reminds us that since it is at our home courts, he always reminds us that it isn't anything different. It's just another day out on the courts. Like, if anything, we need to use that to our advantage, that we're not on the road, we're not somewhere we're uncomfortable with. But he also didn't want us to be intimidated, since we knew that they were a regionally ranked team. And me being a senior, like you said, I've played them once before in the past, so I kind of knew going into the match exactly what to expect, the kind of team that they were. And they've always been really strong in the past, so I went into that mentality that, this isn't going to be a pushover match. I'm really going to have to work for it. And I was excited because, those kind of matches are ones that I think you grow from the most and you really benefit from. But like I said, he just kind of gave us the mentality that, like, we can do it just like always, but we kind of needed to prepare more than we normally did because they were such a strong team overall, and we did kind of go into that knowing and being more aware of that.
And how important was it for you guys to get off to a good start, particularly in doubles?
Oh, that's always crucial, especially since we do have the top 3 doubles that play to start off our every match. He always wants us to get as many of those wins as we can, just because that kind of sets the tone for the rest of the match. If you're down 0-3 coming out of doubles, or 1-2, you're kind of always in that mindset like, okay, I have to start scrambling. In singles, we have to, you have to win and you have to win. You really have to rely on one another. Not that we don't every other time, but when you're down, it's kind of like the pressure is on, and it makes everything that much more intense because you're kind of like, I can't lose. We need my win, so. But coming out on top in doubles, it's always really positive, and it kind of sets the tone, a positive tone for our singles, and prepares us more in the aspect that we're not so nervous. We can just play our game, and like, not everything's on the line. Like, if you don't win this, like, it's kind of coming down to you. So I think a strong, double start is always positive.
And you're playing with a freshman, Joni Baxley from Sealy.
I am.
What's it been like playing with Joni this year?
Well, I actually started out the singles playing with another freshman. I played with Megan. She's been injured, so that's when I made the transition playing with Joni. But I think at first I kind of had the idea like, oh, I'm going to have to, really like teach them a lot, because at TLU we do play like a whole different kind of doubles than most teams do play. So we have our own strategy, so it's always having to make sure that you're teaching them and setting the right examples for them to learn. And so I was excited, though, because I've never really had that. I have played with younger people before, but I played with Sophia, so she already has like a lot of experience on the court, obviously, so teaching her the fundamentals wasn't nearly as difficult as it is with Joni. But she has caught on, and I look forward to playing every doubles with her, because she does have a good mentality, and she always lifts me up, so I like it a lot.
Now, you left doubles. Allie and Sophia lost the number 1 doubles, and so you guys won at 2 and at 3. So you're up 2-1 going into singles. What was the thought process after being up 2-1 and knowing that Allie and Sophia had lost?
Well, like I mentioned before when we were talking about doubles, going into it ahead, especially against a regionally ranked team, we were pumped, because when we were up, we're like, okay, we can do this. Like, we only need for sure 3 singles wins to clinch the match. And the only thing that we were a little, I guess, apprehensive about was, since Sophia and Allie had lost their doubles match, we didn't doubt their abilities at all in the singles match, but you kind of realize, like, okay, their competition is going to be a lot more stiff, assuming that they were playing the same girls that played line 1 doubles with them, which it did happen that way. So we were kind of like, all right, the bottom of the lineup here, like, we might be the ones that need to really, thrive in this kind of setting, especially because their top players were really strong in UT Dallas. But that definitely motivated us a lot, being ahead and realizing, okay, this is in reach. We can do this, And actually, one of our team goals that we set is to beat a regionally ranked team, and we achieved that one of our spring goals. So it was really exciting.
And tell me about particularly your individual singles match. What was going on there?
Well, I always get really nervous going into singles. That's just kind of how I am, especially when I know that the competition is stiff. Not that I ever want a pushover match, but whenever I know that the competition is going to be there and I'm going to really have to like rise to that level, like it puts a lot of pressure on me. But so at first, it did kind of take me some time to adjust and get the jitters out, because I was the first set was 6-3 and my second set was 6-1. So as you can tell, my first set, it wasn't as smooth. I would win a game, she'd break me, I'd break her. It was kind of back and forth for a while. Then finally, like, I realized, like, okay, like, this girl, you can beat her. She's not above your skill level. So that's when I just kind of, like, really got a hold on things. And I talked to Coach Hunt during my changeovers, and he kind of gave me a little bit of strategy that I could do to kind of beat the kind of game that she played. So that really helped a lot, and I was able to close out that first set and sail through the second. So.
And then afterwards, when you guys, was it Brooke's match that clinched it?
Mm-hmm.
And so what was that, just the emotion of that, knowing you had accomplished one of your season goals?
Oh, it was really exciting, especially because that's never been done before. We knew that it's something that we could accomplish this season because of the new talent that we brought in, and we were finally, we have a lot of depth for once. Usually in the past, like, the top of the lineup is pretty strong, and once it gets down towards the bottom, we kind of always struggled. So we definitely knew that was a goal that was in reach, which is why we set it. We always set goals that we know that we can attain. And so when we set that goal and finally realized, like, okay, we did just accomplish that for the first time ever in the history of women's tennis, that was really exciting, not just for the season, but overall. Like, it kind of really sunk in, like, we kind of just set a whole record and made history for TLU. And me being a senior, that's something that I'm really proud of. That, I mean, it took 4 years to get to this point, but I wouldn't trade those 4 years or the losses or everything, because I have really had a good experience here at TLU. But just knowing that I can graduate, like, with that accomplishment under my belt is really exciting, and that I contributed to it, especially with both wins in singles and doubles.
You've seen it all here at TLU.
I really have.
Is it hard to believe that it's coming to a close here the next couple months?
It really is. I honestly feel like I just got here. Whenever, and Coach Hunt will always, bring up, like, oh, like, kind of like you just said, Caitlin has seen it all. Like, at the end of that match, when he was talking about us, like, being so pumped about, the win, and especially him, because he's been here, he was here 1 to 2 years prior to me, so it was even worse before I got here. So he was especially excited and happy for us. So being able to see the team transform and grow, I think that's something that I really value, because even though it hasn't always been great, and like I have had to go through quite a few losses as a TLU Bulldog, but now that it is so successful, I can see that, like, all the hard work that Coach Hunt puts into recruiting everything is finally paying off, and I'm really looking forward to see, even after I graduate, like, being a really good alumni and being able to support them, because I know they have good things in store for them.
What's in store for you after going into May? Will you graduate in May, and then what will happen?
I'm graduating in May, yes, and so I'm hoping to go to grad school. I'm looking at Incarnate Word in San Antonio. I'm a business management major, so I want to get my master's in business administration. And if that works out too, like I said, it'll kind of go hand in hand with me wanting to be a really good alumni, because I'll be right here and I can still come out and support them. And I'm really close with a lot of the girls, so to still be able to be a support system to them, even not being on their actual team, I think that'll be beneficial to them as well as myself, because we are so close. So.
Okay. Well, now this is kind of the fun part that James likes to go into. He usually asks 5 kind of off the tennis court, off the tennis path questions. One of them we usually ask is, what's your favorite pro team or team to support any kind of sport?
In any kind of sport. Well, I do watch a lot of tennis since I am, I would say.
Well, who's your favorite tennis player?
My favorite tennis player, I would say Serena Williams, because she's so strong, and, like, I can look up to her a lot because she is so independent and strong, like, not only on the court, but she also is, like, does a lot of good work and stuff off the court that I look up to, because it's not always just being about a good athlete. So I admire her a lot for that. And plus, she's amazing on the court, so that's something to always strive for.
Have you ever seen anybody, male or female, hit the ball as hard as she does?
No, not at all. Not at all. Her power is exceptionally crazy.
And back on TLU athletics, when you are around campus, which sport do you like to watch the most besides tennis?
I would say football. I went to all the games, and especially now since we got the new stadium and we started the whole tailgating, and I am involved in a sorority and everything, so we had our own tailgates before every game, and it just kind of added to the whole environment and like anticipation leading up to the game, and all the excitement like from the football team, just as us as a tennis program going and being successful, they have too. So it's been really exciting to see how it first was when I got here to now actually being able to go to a game on our own campus versus having to go to Seguin High School. So I would definitely say football.
If you had one superpower, what would it be?
I would probably say read minds. Read minds, yeah. Especially that would come to my advantage being on the tennis court too. I would always be able to anticipate what they were doing next. So I would say reading minds.
Okay, and then who's the best dancer on the TLU tennis team, men or women? Maybe you can give me a male and a female.
And a female.
I don't know if you know how well you know the guys.
Oh no, we're all really close since the teams are so small. So the best male dancer, I would probably say Kyle Thompson. Kyle Thompson, although he won't admit it, he's actually my roommate too. So I've seen him behind closed doors as well. So that's how I know that. And then for the women's team, a lot of the girls are pretty shy. But Sophia, she definitely is the least shy and the most to go above and beyond and be crazy. So I would say Sophia.
Well, Caitlin, thanks for your time today, and
Thank
congratulations on your honor, and best of luck the rest of the year.
Thank you. Thank you.